about a week late. We are finally today going to see. I've just told him to behave himself because it's from my main channel and he's pulling faces already. We are going to see Halloween Ends, and he's got one job, folks. Hold that wire out of the way. Well, you see, we're going to see Halloween Ends. I have not heard good things. I know one person that loved it, and I think pretty much everyone else, a couple of people said, well, it's not that bad, and everyone else has said it's terrible. Yeah, we're going to see Halloween Ends. We shall let you know when we come out, which is probably going to be dark, but anyway, we'll let you know when we come out what we thought of it, about a week after everyone else. So yeah, wish us luck. Okay, so we're back. We couldn't record in the car because it was very dark, very rainy, very foggy, not very nice to look at. Billy Connolly program's just come on the TV, so I'm going to make this very brief. I'll also ask Darren what he thought, so you'll hear his voice. I've heard most people say they really didn't like Halloween Ends. I've heard some people say they liked some parts and they didn't like others, and I've heard a couple of people say they loved it. Now, I thought I was going to be in that absolutely loved it camp. I think I'm going to talk spoilers in this, but at the end, and I'll warn you when I'm going to. I was really invested with where the story started and was going, and I think I said to Darren as we're watching it, whether you like or don't like this is going to be completely down to whether or not you like where they took it. And I can understand people that are massive fans of Michael Myers as a character probably aren't going to be very happy where they took it. Personally, because I knew nothing about it, I didn't see the direction come in. I loved what they did with it. I thought the performance, and I do apologise, Rowan something, I've forgotten the lad's surname that plays the main character in it, that a lot of people said was really irritating, which I don't understand because I didn't think he was. It reminded me quite a bit of Jason Patrick. And like Darren said to me as we're watching it, certain scenes were lifted straight out of Lost Boys to the point that we're quite confused with how they even got away with it. You'll know the bits if you've seen it yourself. So loved his performance. I thought he was really, really good. Really believable. I loved how the different sides of him, I don't want to spoil anything just yet, different sides of him were put across. I absolutely love Laurie Strode in this, and sometimes I'm not a big fan of that character. I find her quite lackluster, but in this she was badass and I loved that. Her daughter, she's one of those characters I can take or leave. And not, sorry, it was her granddaughter, sorry. I'm just not, don't feel one way or another about her. My issue came with fantastic start, really solid middle. I felt everything at the end was too rushed. I thought things came to a conclusion much too fast. Although I loved what happened right at the end, I thought we got there too fast. I would have liked another half hour on there, expanding the new sort of idea, this new sort of thing that they had with it. So yeah, I would say out of 10, I would give that a, just as a movie, we're not talking Halloween movies, just as a movie, I would say that was a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Just thought it was too rushed at the end. I much preferred it to the last two that we've had. To me, I would have ended it two back, the one with the fire in the house at the end. But I really like what they did with this. I like the fresh approach. I like the new direction. I know a lot of people didn't. And just let's say if you're in the camp of arguing with people and calling people names because they think differently to you about a movie, honest to God, you're in the wrong place. Don't be doing YouTube reviews. It's ridiculous. I have really good friends that hated this. I have really good friends that loved this. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. Let's not call people stupid for disagreeing with each other. So that's where I'm coming from. Before I talk spoilers, I'll just, Darren's behind the light. What did you think?
Yeah, I'd give it 7 out of 10.
Yeah, so
enjoyed it. It seemed like they needed to give it an extra 6 months in the writing room just to give a few tweaks here and there. I also thought the young lad looked a lot like a young, I always call him William.
He did. There was a real look of Willem Dafoe. And another thing I liked about this is, now they usually, especially in slashers, especially they have done in Halloween movies in the past, we've always got the concentration on the young pretty girl. And in this, they completely flipped it. And they took this nerdy, dweeby, bullied guy and they turned him into, as a woman, you raise your eyebrow. Oh, he's looking all right now as he's riding his motorbike down the street, a la Lost Boys. I love that concentration on a bloke instead of a girl. We don't usually get that, so I like that. So I think me and Darren are from a similar camp. We liked the same bits, we laughed at the same bits, which was probably a bit sick because they were quite gruesome bits that we found quite amusing. Record is all I will say. Radio station, record. Very, very amusing.
Yeah, some heavy licks on that album.
Yeah, there was heavy licks on that indeed. So yeah, both 7 out of 10, we both liked it. Really don't understand why people are saying it's awful, it's terrible, what have you done? Don't get it. So yeah, that's what we thought before. Hang on, Darren.
I would agree. Missing piece of the storyline would have taken it to probably an 8.5.
Right, we will find out what that is
we can't talk about that
in
now.
a bit. So that's what we both thought. So if you haven't seen it, switch off at this point because I'm very, very briefly, as I said, Billy Connolly's on the TV, very briefly going to discuss a couple of spoilers that maybe me or Darren would have done differently. Listen to me, David Gordon Green here. That things we would have liked to have seen changed or things that really worked. So last warning, spoilers. So for me, I adored the fact that we were almost handing the mantle to someone else. I felt what was happening was that Michael, well, initially I thought, oh, have we got a supernatural kind of thing here? Because we've had that in Halloween before. Is he continuing on through this man, this boy? And then I thought, no, hang on. Is he going to use this boy to help him? Because obviously Michael's getting on. He's in his 70s. He did limp a bit in it. And I thought, right, maybe he's frail. Maybe he's using this lad in order to help him continue what he's doing. And I thought, oh, this is great. I love this. But then they had the scene where they're scuffling together down in the tunnel and Michael's more than holding his own. So I'm thinking, well, obviously he's not using him because he's frail and weak, because he's holding his own here. But I loved just the inclusion of the new bloke. I loved that replicated kill with the girl against the wall and the head tilt. The only thing I was dying for them to do was make Corey head tilt, not Michael. Well, they didn't. Michael head tilted. But loved that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. The bit in the DJ place was hilarious. That guy had it coming. This is a horrible thing about me. Almost everyone that died in that I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought they deserved it. So loved that. Loved that direction. I know people that love Michael Myers won't have liked that direction at all. They won't like the inclusion. They'll think it's stupid. I heard people say they thought it made Michael look weak, which I don't really agree with. It was going to happen. Michael was going to die at some stage. There's Dobby. Hello, Dobby. I loved what they did. Now, me and Darren were really annoyed when the young people were being killed in that car merchant place that nobody went in the shredder. Like, well, why is he not gone in the shredder? We were both quite put out about that. But then we knew why they were keeping the shredder and who they were keeping it for. But what I would love to have seen, and tell me if I'm wrong in this, Laurie Strode's life was all about Michael Myers. The whole of her life from that first babysitting gig, and she's been tied to him, and he's defined her whole life. Why did she not throw herself in to that shredder with Michael at the end and just paid to the whole thing? And I'm talking about Halloween kills and gruesome deaths, and my son is there, yes. Laurie needed to throw herself in there at the end with Michael. Now, other people maybe loved that she was victorious at the end, and I loved how badass she was. I loved how haggard they had her look. I love that they didn't make her up. I love that they cut her hair similar to the first movie, so when we had all those flashbacks, we could see the young woman turn into the old woman. I just loved her character in this much more than I have in most of the other movies. I did like the fact that she got one over on Michael in the end. I liked what they did with him, but I wanted her to go too. And I don't know why I felt that, but I just felt that is she a whole person without Michael Myers' existence? So that's how I would have liked to have ended it. I would have liked them to have dragged it out much more. I think Corey died too fast. I don't like them. It was very clear what was going to happen. I knew he was going to kill himself. She was going to walk in and think that her gran had killed him. But I would have liked more for his character. He did need to die. I wanted to see him fall over those same banisters as that kid. What Darren said I really liked. He said he would like there to have been a flashback. You know when Corey was having the flashback to everything? Why did we not see him actually push the young lad down the stairs at the start? Why did we not you know, he wasn't this nice guy that changed because society ostracized him and bullied him. Why did we not maybe see that he was evil to start with and he had pushed that boy down the stairs? It wasn't an accident. He got out of that room and he shoved him down. That would have been quite nice. But yeah, overall, I liked it. Just a bit more. A little bit more gruesome in places. Could we have seen the end of Laurie, and could we have had Corey be even more evil than he actually was? What about you? Anything to add?
I think you covered it all there.
So,
It just needed a little bit longer in writing room just to get someone else to say, yeah, good, but what if
about
we
this?
extend this and what if we do that? It was like the whole town turned up at the end.
That was daft.
That no one knew was going on.
This is the thing, it's like, why were the whole town there? How did that news spread around? Why were the young kids' bodies not still lying in the scrapyard that all of those kids walked? Maybe I missed something, so let me know if I did.
Well, the owner was was killed as well.
Why, when Laurie called her granddaughter, did it come up on the phone, Laurie? Who calls their grandma by her first name? Why did it not say Gran or Granny or whatever you call your Meemaw, whatever you call your granny? But yeah, you can never keep everyone happy. But I really, really do not agree with people that say, and that's the worst Halloween movie, that it's a bad Halloween. I mean, have you seen Trick or Treat MF? Isaac sat beside me, I can't say the full thing. You've seen that, and you still think that Halloween Ends is worse. But if you do, you're entitled to that. It's fine. That movie's funny. I'm a big fan of Halloween 3, and a lot of people hate it. But yeah, I thought it was a solid entry. I would have liked a bit more, but I'm happy with what we got. I'm happy with the fact that Michael's gone. Just wish he'd have taken Laurie with him. But there we go. That would have been my ending. But everyone wants something different.
Isaac says was a negative side though.
Right, this is a joke.
No, it's not. It is. It's something that really got my back up.
Right, the people have to sit and look at my face while you're... Oh yeah. At the beginning when they're doing the intro. But when it was doing the Halloween music at the beginning, there was the heavy beat behind it, and I'm like, I was enjoying it. Darren hated it, and that just shows you different. We're married. He hated it. I liked it. So you know, you can have different opinions. You don't have to hate each other. But yeah, solid, happy. Yeah. So I know a few people had said, I'll be interested to see what you think. That's what I think. It's rather long-winded for me. I don't usually talk this long about one film. But it's been such a divisive one, and now I can watch everyone else's reviews and find out what you all thought, because I've been avoiding all the Halloween reviews, obviously, because I don't want it spoiled. Didn't want it spoiled, and happily I went in without one spoiler. I knew nothing.
And I've learned how to get on the right side of you by leaving gifts on your doorstep.
That's another thing me and Darren laughed at the end when the guy left the basket of fruit and veg and the flowers on Laurie's doorstep. I was aghast that he'd left her vegetables. I'm like, really?
Soiled?
If someone was coming to my house to give me a gift on the doorstep to make me feel better, I don't want fruit and vegetables, folks. I'm just warning you now. I'm like, where's the chocolates? Where's some carrots? I mean, really?
There's some roughage for your bowels.
Oh my god.
Thanks.
So yeah.
I'm not very regular at the minute.
We had to just go down. We just had to drag it down, didn't we? Right, so thank you for watching, guys. I will try and check out, if you comment below, I will get to it, I promise. It sometimes takes me a while, granted. It's just life gets in the way. Comment below if you have reviewed Halloween, and I'll go watch your review and comment on it, and, you know, we can have a talk about what we thought.
Thank you.